Simple Tales presents The Monkey King and the Magic Fan, a Chinese legend. Have you ever met someone whose anger burned so fiercely that it seemed impossible to reason with them? When pride hardens into resentment, even old friendships can become bitter enemies. Yet the old storytellers of China believed that wisdom is not proven by never making mistakes. It is proven by finding the courage to set them right. This is the story of the Monkey King and the Magic Fan. Long ago, as the monk Tang Sanzang journeyed west in search of sacred scriptures, he traveled with 3 loyal companions. The fearless Monkey King, Sun Wukong, the good-hearted but gluttonous Pigsy, the steadfast Sandy. Together they had crossed mountains, defeated demons, and survived countless dangers. But one obstacle awaited them unlike any before. Ahead stretched the flaming mountains. Towering cliffs glowed crimson, the rocks shimmered with unbearable heat. The rivers had long since dried into cracked earth. Even the wind carried sparks. No bird dared fly above them. No beast dared cross them. The travelers could not take another step. Pigsy wiped sweat from his face. "We shall roast before we reach the first hill." Even Tang Sanzang's horse staggered beneath the blazing sun. Monkey frowned. There must be a way. An old woodcutter resting beneath the last patch of shade pointed toward a distant green mountain untouched by fire. "There lives Princess Iron Fan," he said. "She possesses a magical fan. One wave of that fan can summon mighty winds capable of extinguishing the flames." Monkey smiled. "Then I shall borrow it." The old man sighed. If only it were that simple. Years earlier, Monkey had fought Princess Iron Fan's husband, the mighty Bull Demon King. The battle had nearly destroyed entire mountains. Though both survived, neither family had forgotten the insult. Monkey scratched behind one ear. "Well, perhaps she has forgiven me." The old woodcutter simply laughed. "I would not count on it." Without another word, Monkey leaped onto a cloud and soared toward Emerald Cloud Cave. Outside stood Princess Iron Fan, graceful and dignified, surrounded by flowering trees that somehow flourished despite the burning land beyond. Monkey bowed politely. "Princess, I seek only your fan." "My master cannot cross the flaming mountains." Her expression hardened immediately. "You. I have not forgotten what you did to my family." Monkey remained calm. "I have not come to fight. I ask only to borrow the fan." She answered by raising the enormous banana leaf fan. With a single sweep, a roaring gale exploded from its leaves. Mountains vanished beneath swirling clouds. Monkey found himself hurled through the sky like a falling leaf, across forests, across rivers. Across hundreds of miles, he finally crashed into a distant mountain. For a long moment, he simply lay there. Then he burst into laughter. She certainly hasn't forgotten. Back beside the flaming mountains, Pigsy paced anxiously. Hours later, Monkey returned, brushing dust from his fur. "Well?" asked Pigsy hopefully. Monkey sighed. She declined. Pigsy looked toward the endless fire. "I was afraid of that." Monkey folded his arms. "If kindness failed, perhaps cleverness will succeed." Using one of his famous transformations, Monkey became a tiny green insect. he quietly slipped into Princess Ironfan's tea. Moments later, she drank. Inside her stomach, Monkey returned to his normal size. He somersaulted. He danced. He stirred and twisted until she doubled over in pain. "Enough!" she cried. "Please stop!" Monkey crossed his arms. The fan. Groaning, she finally agreed. She handed him a beautiful folding fan carved from white jade. Monkey thanked her politely and hurried back to the flaming mountains. Pixie grinned. "You did it!" Monkey confidently waved the fan. The flames grew larger. Another wave. The fire spread farther. The fan was fake. "Far away!" Princess Ironfan laughed until tears filled her eyes. Pixie groaned. "I knew it was too easy." Monkey sat on a blackened stone and stared at the false fan in his hands. For the first time in many years, he understood that a trick could win a moment, but it could never win a heart. He stood. "This time," he said, "I will not disguise myself. This time, I will ask as I should have asked from the beginning." He flew across the heavens until he found the Bull Demon King himself. The mighty demon lord stood taller than ancient pines, his great horns gleaming beneath the sun. Monkey landed before him. He did not raise his staff. He did not boast. He bowed. "We have quarreled before," he said, "and I once fought you as though strength were the only virtue." "I was wrong," the Bull Demon King laughed. "Peace. After everything between us," Monkey nodded, "my master suffers, but I have come to you not as a warrior seeking a weapon. I come as someone who once wounded your family, asking for the chance to make it right." The Bull Demon King studied him carefully. For the first time in many years, Monkey was asking instead of boasting. Respect instead of arrogance. Perhaps he had changed. Still unwilling to surrender so easily, the Bull Demon King challenged Monkey once more. The two transformed into countless shapes. Great dragons, soaring eagles, towering tigers, serpents twisting through the clouds. Each answered the other's magic with magic of equal brilliance. The heavens themselves seemed to pause to watch. At last, neither could gain the advantage. Both returned to their true forms. The Bull Demon King smiled. "It seems we have fought enough for one lifetime." Monkey smiled back. "I was beginning to think the same." Together, they returned to Emerald Cloud Cave. Princess Ironfan looked from one to the other in astonishment. For the first time, neither warrior sought another battle, only peace. She looked at her husband, then at the monkey who had once been her enemy. Her hand tightened on the true banana leaf fan. Then, slowly, she extended it toward him. "This one will answer only honest purpose," she said. "Do not waste its power." Monkey bowed deeply. "I give you my word." Returning to the flaming mountains, Monkey stood before the endless sea of fire. He gripped the fan with both hands. One mighty sweep, a cool wind rushed across the valleys. The flames shrank with a sound like 1,000 sighs. A second sweep, the blazing cliffs dimmed. A third. Dark smoke drifted into the sky as green valleys slowly emerged beneath the ashes. Fresh streams began flowing once more. Birdsong returned. Flowers pushed through blackened soil. The path west lay open again. Tang Sanzang smiled with quiet gratitude. Our greatest victory today was not over fire. Monkey nodded. It was over old hatred. The companions continued their long journey toward the sacred scriptures. Behind them, the flaming mountains slowly returned to life. And somewhere beyond the hills, Princess Iron Fan and the Bull Demon King watched the green valleys bloom once more. The old storytellers of China remembered that day for a reason. Power can defeat an enemy. Cleverness can win a battle. But only humility can heal what anger has broken. Sometimes, the hardest mountain to cross is the one built by our own pride. Thank you for listening to Simple Tales. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more timeless tales from around the world. Until next time, may wisdom guide your strength.